Hey, everybody. The NC State players that'll come to the press conference are Wesley Grimes, CJ Bailey, Kean Sloan, and Caden Fordham. Kean Sloan is on his way if you want to go ahead and start raising your hands for questions for him. Kean, thanks for being here. Any questions from the media? Noah, go ahead.
Yeah, and you were all over the field tonight. What was it just like get back out there playing in a game, but also what did you kind of see from ECU's offensive line that you're able to take advantage of today?
Yeah, it was honestly just great to be out there with my brothers. I mean, there's no other place in the world I'd rather be right now. Just the atmosphere from the fans to the preparation we had going into the game, like there's no way I wasn't going to go out there and play as hard as I can. And yeah, from ECU, I mean, they're a very respectable team. They're playing with that tempo offense. They're definitely keeping us on our toes. But I just say the conditioning that we put in the offseason and all the work we've put in up until this moment got us all really, really prepared. So yeah, it was just a great win. And yeah, I'm super happy right now.
Rob, go ahead.
Yes, sir. Did you make the impact in this game? This obviously being your first game at NC State. You feel like you made the impact that you were hoping for? And two-parter, and the second part is, what do you attribute sort of on the back end of the game when ECU kind of made its run?
Sorry, what was that first part again?
Do you feel like you made the contribution? Do you feel like you contributed for first game? How happy are you with your contribution?
Yeah, I feel like I'm pretty happy with what I did out there. Obviously, there's still a lot to learn, and I still got to get a lot better. I'm not where I want to be at right now, but I'd say from an effort and just how I played, I'm definitely satisfied with what I did out there. But I understand that there's more to be done, and I'm not where I want to be yet. But it was just a great team win all around.
And then the second part, sir, just ECU kind of made that run in the second half. What do you attribute that to?
Yeah, I mean, they're a respectable team. We knew that going in. It's all about, it's a game of runs. They won on a couple runs. And when it came down to it in our red zone, we bowed up, stopped them on fourth down, and then we won the game. So yeah, it was just a great game.
Jaden, go ahead.
Hi. When you talk about things that, that you're not satisfied with, what are you hoping to, fix or look at going into game two?
I don't know I don't know if I use that right, not satisfied. I'm definitely happy with how I played, but I just know that there's still a bunch of small tweaks and stuff that I need to get better at. Just going week by week, there's always room for improvement. So that's kind of where I was getting at. But I'm still as happy as I can be with this win. So yeah, I don't want that to be misread.
TJ, go ahead.
And TJ Wilkerson from Virginia Talk Radio Network. How important of a win, how much of a statement do you think this win over rival ECU speaks for you guys going into the season now that we're one game in?
I think it's a great momentum starter, honestly. I mean, obviously, every team in America wants to start at 1-0, and we did it in front of our home crowd. So, yeah, I think this is a huge step in the right direction for us.
Rod, go ahead.
Ian, what'd you see on that fourth down stop there? Walk us through that play and what you saw on the field.
Yeah, I mean, we knew we had to be super physical. I mean, I think it was third down and fourth down, we're all in between 2 yards. Just really had bow our necks back and just be physical. And just credit to all the guys on the field, knowing their assignment and just playing as hard as they can. And, we ended up getting off the field. So, yeah, it was great.
Brian, go ahead.
Thanks. You guys had really stopped their run. Did you get a sense on that fourth down play that they would try to pass?
I mean, it's always in the back of our mind for sure. Yeah, I mean, obviously, I wasn't guessing out there. I was still reacting, but yeah, it was definitely a possibility. And our back end guys read it perfectly, and they were able to make a play on the ball. So yeah, I think that just goes down to just our preparation before the game even started, just the knowledge that we had in the back end there.
Noah, go ahead.
Yeah, they only finished with 30 rushing yards. For a lot of the game, they were in the negative. What do you think the biggest reason was for you guys to be able to stop the run as well as you did today?
I just feel like our defense was just fast and physical today. I mean, not a whole. Obviously, we'll see the tape, but I feel like there wasn't a whole lot of mistakes, and effort wasn't a problem at all today. But all 11 guys wanted to get to the ball, wanted to hit the ball carrier as hard as they can, and yeah, it's just a great way to start off the season. And I couldn't be happier with my brothers and my team.
Jaden, go ahead.
Yeah, y'all gave up that 79-yard pass. What was kind of going through your head on the play, and how much of just like the defense not getting set was that a focus or mentality sort of thing?
I mean, that's just football, I'd say. I mean, plays like that are going to happen throughout the game. Obviously, we were faced with a little bit of adversity early on with that, and I feel like we did a great job of rallying and limiting those type of plays later on in the game. So yeah, I mean, adversity is going to strike, and I mean, we all knew that. We got a bunch of dudes who played a lot of football on the defensive side, and I feel like we handled ourselves really well in this situation.
Rob, go ahead.
Yeah, one more for me, sir. You and Sebastian on the edges. Y'all are the newcomers. How hard is it to sort of come in that quickly? I mean, y'all were late transfers. You come in and you both had a really big impact. And the dynamic of that, just is there a bond between you guys, the teamwork?
Yeah, I mean, that's my boy. He was on my visit when I first committed here, and yeah, he's an outstanding player. There's no one who plays harder, who plays more physical than Sebastian Harsh. So yeah, it was just an honor playing on the other side of him, and yeah, we both made a pretty good impact in the game, and yeah, just got to carry that momentum into Virginia next week. Yes, sir.
Anything else? All right, good game. Thanks for joining us, Kean.
Awesome. Thank you, guys.
All right, questions for Wesley? TJ, go ahead.
Wesley, it seems like you and CJ already have developed that connection. Can y'all talk about that chemistry that y'all have developed over the offseason that put on the performance that you both did tonight whenever y'all connected?
Yeah, the whole offseason we're throwing extra, hanging out, bonding. I feel like that was a big thing with our connection, just learning each other's tendencies, him getting the timing down and with how fast I run my routes, and just over the offseason, just having fun with it and just working and enjoying the work. So I think that process in the offseason really helped out, and it showed today.
No, you've got the next question for Wesley Grimes.
Yeah, CJ hit you on that deep ball over the middle. What'd you kind of see on that with two defenders right there, and you're able to come down with it?
You're talking about the post?
Yeah, kind of down the middle of the big game.
Yeah, I knew I had to step on my guy's toes. I probably could have taken it a little closer to him to beat him a little better, but try to cross his face as best as possible. Credit to Keenan, he did a great job on holding that other side safety. So I just saw the ball in the air, and then I didn't let anybody else get to it but me. So credit to CJ, big credit to Keenan, but I was just there to make the play.
Jaden, go ahead.
There are times when guys have really big career nights, and the team doesn't win. You had a career night and y'all won. Just what was the reaction in the locker room? What are the vibes right now?
Yeah, the vibes are definitely very high. The whole game, I wasn't keeping track of I catch just stats. I didn't want to think about that, and I just wanted that win. I knew we needed that win as a team. And it was a big moment for us, especially after last season. And I think it was a good starting point, but we definitely have a lot of work to do. But vibes are definitely high. We're going to enjoy this for 24 hours.
Charlie, go ahead.
Wesley, kind of talk about what you saw on the offense in the second half and how kind of things got stagnant compared to what you saw in the first half.
Yeah, I think, like I said, we have stuff to work on. We know that. But we definitely showed a lot of flashes of great things. We have great players. on the line, protecting CJ. CJ is obviously a great player, and we have great guys in the receiver room. I think just learning off the things that we messed up today on and just getting better and just staying hungry, I think is a big thing. It's definitely there. We just got to keep going forward in the right direction.
Noah, go ahead.
Yeah, Wesley, you had your first 100-yard game at the college level, just on 4 catches. How much do you pride yourself on being that kind of guy that can get downfield and make big plays?
Yeah, I just feel like this year I feel like more confident than I've ever felt in college. It's always been there. I've always been the guy that can make plays. I just had to have confidence myself, and I think when it happens, I play loose, I play free, and I have fun with it. So I'm just gonna keep that mindset and keep leaning on God to keep me that way. And credit to the team for believing in me, and then that helped my spirit out a lot with my confidence.
If I can just follow up real quick, what changed in your confidence from last year to this year, where you are more confident to make plays like that?
A lot of prayer. I would say a lot of prayer. Leaning on my Lord and Savior, He helped me a lot. I just talked to Him a lot. My family helped me a lot, and just really not overthinking and getting in my head about things has been a big thing. Just trusting the plan that everything is happening for a reason in my life, and when I just trust in that and believe in that, it just works out. And then I don't really need to worry about anything. Leave all my stress, put all my stress in God, and it always works out.
All right, last question for Wesley is going to be from Jaden.
How much does it help for you to have a returning QB and some of these returning guys around you, to help give you confidence that you can do this?
It's huge. Yeah, it's very huge. Like I said, me and CJ in the offseason, we got a bunch of throws and a bunch of catches. And then the receiver room, we're all familiar with each other. We're comfortable. So we know how to give each other tough criticism and back each other up. We have each other's backs and we believe in one another. So just having all those guys in the room together, having each other's backs is huge and makes everybody play more free like we were back when we were kids playing football. So just making sure everybody's getting better, staying hungry has been a big thing in the room. And I love all the guys in that room.
Thanks, Wesley.
Thank you.
All right, guys. CJ Bailey is going to join us now if you want to raise your questions for CJ. CJ, thanks for being here. Noah, go ahead with your question.
Yeah, CJ, we just got done talking to Wesley. What was it like to kind of see him, have the kind of game he did, and what's the kind of connection you guys have now? How much has that changed from last year to this year?
Yeah, it's great to see Wesley play like that. We all knew he had it in him, since last year. It could have been way more games where he could have way more yards. And, but this offseason showed me a lot from Wes. He grinded. He worked hard, especially when it was coming to our time with, throwing in the offseason. He worked really hard to be what he did today. So I really expected it from him because he's a senior. He's one of our leaders too.
TJ, go ahead.
CJ, I know we're only one game into this season, but based off tonight and based off last season, what would you say has been the major difference in your game?
I would say my ability to take a shot downfield. I'm really, taking shots and taking risks. I would say I'm also running the ball better, running the ball a little more this year, but this game for the most part. But I don't know yet until like a couple more games come up. I really see like growth, from last year.
Right. What is something you hope to improve as time goes on? What do you feel like you need improvement on?
I'll say, just being more accurate when I'm under pressure. You know what I mean? Ball started to sail out of my hand when I was taking hits or whatever the case may be, and I could be better in those situations. I made those plenty of times before, so it was just throwing under pressure. That's really what it is.
Thank you.
Jaden, go ahead.
Yeah, CJ, y'all have talked a little bit about Teddy Hoffman. What was it like seeing a young guy like him make some of the plays that he did tonight?
I expected it. I told you guys I had an interview before, like a couple of days ago, and I told you guys I saw a lot of growth in Teddy Hoffman, and it showed today. And I told you guys, like, Teddy is a great player. He's amazing. Freshman out of Florida as well. So it's amazing to see what he did today. He's another one who came in the offseason working hard. Like he put in a lot of work to do what he did today as well. Like he made a lot of contact catches and a lot of plays for us, and we needed those.
Charlie, go ahead.
CJ, it was your first game with Kurt Roper, the new offensive coordinator, calling plays. Talk about how that kind of progressed throughout the game and what you felt like was different compared to last year.
Yeah, it's very, very more explosive offense. You know, Rope is a very smart guy, and he's calling a lot of great plays. You know, I love it from him. And, you know, he's pushing the pace and he's pushing the tempo. And he's not just one of those laid back guys. He understands the situations and he calls the right plays in the right times and the right moments. So it's really big to have an OC like Kurt Rope.
Rob, go ahead.
Yes, CJ, obviously there's two kind of ways you can look at this game. Obviously, you picked up the big win against a in-state opponent, but then conversely, the second half, you didn't get as much offensive points maybe as you would have liked. What's the mindset immediately after this game, and where do you think you go from here towards Virginia next week?
Yeah, the mindset is really finishing better. You know, I feel like we started off at a good pace. You know, offense got it rolling, defense got it rolling. You know, we just got to come out the half way better than how we did, and it's part of it is just me as a leader, just getting the offense going. You know, like we started to feel comfortable with our lead, and we can't do that. So it's me as a leader. I got to get those guys going. You know what I mean?
And the last question for CJ will come from Noah.
Yeah, you mentioned Teddy in the game he had. At the end of the first quarter, I think you hit him on 4 straight passes that moved the ball into the red zone on your touchdown drive. You know, what was that drive kind of like, and kind of be able to have that trust in a freshman like that?
Yeah, it was a great drive. I got him the ball 4 times. You know, he's just a playmaker. Like, you just get the ball in his hand, he's gonna make a play for us. And you know, it's that trust. It's trust from offseason. You know, like I said before, he was another one of those guys came in to work, and I just trust him. So I just gave us the looks that we wanted, and I got him the ball in space, and he just kept on making plays for us.
CJ, thanks for joining us tonight.
Appreciate it.
All right, guys. Caden Fordham is still going to come, but Coach Doeren's here now. Coach, thanks for joining us, and we're ready for an opening statement when you are.
Yeah, I'm really proud of the guys finding a way to win, and a hard-fought game, and ECU played really hard. I love the way that defense battled there at the end. It's great to have a goal line stand like that to win a football game. And being 1-0 with a lot of things that we can get better at, it's a good place to be. I was really excited about how we started fast. And penalties really derailed a lot of drives on offense. You know, we've had some bonehead penalties and false starts, different things like that. I thought we protected the ball well. We didn't fumble the football all night. We had some explosive plays, throwing the ball down the field. Guys made contact catches. Wesley and Teddy, obviously. Our backs ran hard. You know, defensively, we held them to 30 yards rushing or 29-yard rushing or something like that. And it was a good win, really good win. And so proud of the guys. And at the same time, though, there's a lot of things that we can do better. I'm very thankful for the fans. It was an awesome night. You guys were incredible. Crowd noise was amazing. Student section was awesome. That's what we need to have every home game. And Thursday nights are always special in the Carter. Man, I thank you for what you gave us tonight. That was a major, major advantage, particularly at the end of the game when we needed you on defense.
Questions for Coach? Brian, go ahead.
Yeah, thanks, Dave. On the 4th down play, what did you see? What did you think they would go to? Obviously, you'd stop them running the ball. Did you get a sense they would try some kind of pass, some kind of quick pass?
Well, I thought it would either be a repeat of their speed option, which they scored on earlier in a similar situation, or what they ran, you know, the naked crack screen that they ran on us last year in the bowl game as well. So I didn't expect them to try to run the ball up the middle. I thought it'd be something off the edges. Defense did a great job, crack replacing, and Coach Elliott prepared them well for that play. You know, we practiced that play throughout the week. Play just like that. I think we ran it 4 or 5 times in the red zone, and kids executed. Corner came up, big solid tackle on a tight end. So I was proud of those guys on defense. They had a couple of 4th down stops in the game that were big.
Rob, go ahead.
Yes, sir. I have a 2-parter. First of all, your edge players, Sloan and Harsh, they were obviously later transfers. Just speak to the impact you thought they had on this game this evening.
Yeah, I mean, we wanted to be better off the edge. We wanted to create more tackles for loss this year, more sacks. and not have to blitz all the time to create those things. We wanted to be able to do it with 4 or 5 guys. And so there was a huge emphasis in finding some edge players, and Kean Sloan, Kenny that you mentioned, Trey Thomas. We got some good snaps out of several players. Chase Bond got in the game, made some plays in the backfield. It was good to see him, and he's been super consistent. So the edge of the defense, really, the old scheme we had was more 4 eyes, which is DNs playing inside the tackles. We wanted to have guys that could play outside and play in space and give us pass rush. And so that was a huge emphasis by the staff and recruiting, and it obviously paid off.
And my second question, sir, obviously you guys, as you mentioned, got off to the hot start. There's 2 ways of looking at it. You talk about that hot start and getting the win, an important win, but at the same time, you probably would have wanted a little more offense, a little more separation there in the second half. Just speak to that, and where's the mindset going into Virginia next week?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot to get better at. I thought we stalled out in the red zone several times with penalties and tackles for losses. We went backwards. We'd have an explosive play to get down there, and then all of a sudden we'd be going backwards, and so lots to improve on offense. A lot of good things on offense, but our goal is to score 31 or more. That's our goal. And so we were a touchdown short of our goal in this game, and we had 2 missed field goals, which hurt us, and so that's an area we got to get better as well.
Noah, go ahead.
Yeah, Wesley had a career night, a first 100-yard game in college. What was it like seeing him do that? But also, he talked about being more confident this year. Have you been able to see that confidence rise in him this year?
I'm proud of Wesley. He missed a lot of training camp. He had a lot of nagging things bothering him, and really got full speed kind of towards the end of this week. And he's top 3 fastest players on our team. And so we need him to be an explosive guy and make senior type plays. And he did that tonight. He was tonight exactly who I was hoping we'd see. And I'm super proud of him for stepping up and helping the offense be explosive, because if he's like that, and Noah's like that, and Teddy's like that, Terrell, Keenan, and then you have Jolie, and then you have Hollywood. We got a lot of different people we can take advantage of in space and get matchups. And so it's a good start, and it helps when your fastest guy is making plays, because as you saw with their team, number 9 for them is a fast kid, and you got to know where they're at on defense. And it helps a lot that Wesley came out like that. Now he's just got to be consistent.
Jaden, go ahead.
Yeah, you mentioned having multiple playmakers. How important was having that tonight to get this win?
Yeah, I mean, it was a team win. It really was. And I thought offensively jumped out 17-0, got us a lead. Defensively, I think they had minus 20 yards rushing in the first half. It was very stingy. Both sides of the football helped each other throughout the night, and they faked a punt. Defense came right back after a 3-and-out. They fake a punt, comes right back out, stops them again. We had 3 fourth-down stops looking at the stats here. So it was definitely a complimentary win. Having playmakers helps, to answer your question, but I really look at this as more of a team win.
JC, go ahead.
You guys were able to start out fast on defense, especially in the first quarter. How hard is that to do when you were working in so many new starters and had Brandon Cleveland sitting out in the first half?
Yeah, no, it says a lot about the preparation that Coach Elliott and his staff did with the guys. Says a lot about the kids understanding the rules and how to adjust them, because you're going to see things you don't practice in the first few games. I thought we tackled really well in this game, and that was impressive. You always worry about tackling, especially against an up-tempo spread. I mean, they were putting 2 of their receivers almost out of bounds on some of the plays to try to create space on the field. And so that's a key part of denying explosive plays, is your ability to tackle in space. And when you can't run the football on offense, it's tough. It's tough. They did a good job finding their tight end, getting him involved in the second half. He hurt us. But it was a really well executed game plan. The kids understand it. They adjusted well. I was very proud of what they did.
Charlie, go ahead.
Coach, you mentioned early in the offseason kind of how bad you wanted this game, considering how things ended last December. Does this game mean more to you coming on the right side of the scoreboard this time around?
Yeah, I mean, I felt like we tarnished our reputation. It was a game that really hurt me. Seeing the way our guys couldn't stop the run, 300 yards rushing. I mean, it's an embarrassing thing as a head coach that considers himself a guy that knows how to play defense, and then having the actions that we did afterwards, it was embarrassing. And this game wasn't about ECU. This game was about us playing the game the way it's supposed to be played and respecting the game, respecting each other, respecting the university that we play for, our fans, the guys in the locker room, the guys that have worn the jersey, respecting Coach Ruff, a guy that means a lot to our program and means a lot. And so this game was about getting our identity back and playing hard, tough together football.
All right, 2 more questions for Coach. TJ, go ahead.
Coach, looking at CJ Bailey in one game into the season and looking at him from last year, what's a major difference you've instantly seen in his game?
He's just very poised. He's got a lot of confidence. He sees the game. It's slowing down for him. He trusts his guys. He has chemistry with his guys. Last year coming off the bench as a backup and not knowing if you're even going to play as a true freshman, you don't have that chemistry, not only with your skill guys, but the O-line. Those guys play hard for him, and he can get after him, and they respect him. And so he's a true leader. And last year he was more of a survivor, just in there fighting as hard as he could fight. But he didn't have the guys around him like he does now, pulling hard for him and wanting to protect him.
Coach, one more question from me. When you're in a situation where ECU in the red zone, under 40 seconds left, that fourth down stop, how do you prep your team for pressure moments like that?
Chaos. Yeah, I mean, we train in chaos. We try to put them in tough situations. We did it all through training camp. Coach Thunder and his staff put them in tough situations all summer. And then it comes down to having leaders on your team, that they're not going to let it happen. They're going to execute, and they're prepared. And in pressure situations, you always revert back to your training. And we trained them well, and the kids did a tremendous job of standing up, bowing up, and not letting them get a first down right there.
All right, David, go ahead with the last question for Coach.
Yeah, Dave, you talked about getting your identity back, respecting the game, playing the game the way it's supposed to. What moments tonight stood out to you where you felt like your team did that?
Well, I mean, stopping them on 4th down 3 times, goal line stand, for sure. I think just the poise the guys had as ECU started creeping back in the game. There was no panic. There was nothing. The guys just kept playing and finding a way to win. It was never a moment in the game where you felt like anybody on the sideline didn't believe that we were going to win the football game. They were all locked in. It was a much different feel on that sideline than we had on our sideline a year ago. And just the way that they prepared, like this team they're so able to take constructive criticism. They want to be better football players and better men. They know that we love them and we're coming from the right place. And they take it, they listen, and they work hard. And it paid off tonight. I mean, that's a game, if you go back over the last 35 times it's played, it's usually a close game. And no different tonight. Even though we had a chance to not make it that way, that's how a lot of these games have ended.
Thanks for joining us, Coach.
Thank you, guys.
All right, everybody. Caden Fordham is here if you guys want to go ahead and raise your hands for questions for him.
Hey, how y'all doing?
Caden, thanks for being here.
Yeah.
Noah, go with your question.
Caden, what was it like playing for the first time in an actual game with guys like Keon Sloan and Sebastian Harsh? They seem to be living in the backfield for most of the night.
Man, it's awesome having guys like that come in and play like that first game here at NC State. It's awesome to see people, your teammates out there fighting like dogs every play, going out there making plays. So I love having them on my side.
Yeah, just to follow up, how much easier does that make your job, having them pressuring the quarterback like that?
Oh, I mean, it makes it a ton easier, especially in coverage, getting pressure on him like that, making him make quick decisions. And then even in the run game, having those guys in the backfield as much as they were, I mean, you can't ask for nothing more out of your D-line.
Rob, go ahead.
My question is also about those two fellows. How seamless has their transition been, even though they were sort of late transfers? And what is your impression of their football intellect as well as their skill?
Yeah, I mean, they're both veteran guys in college football. I mean, they played a a lot of snaps, and I mean you can see it on the field. I mean they came in day one, new defense for all of us. They learned right away, really got in the playbook together and started picking up on things. So just it started in practice and preparation. You know, I could tell just by the way they practice, how hard they practice, and how serious they took it, that they were going to be great players, and you know it showed tonight.
Jaden, go ahead.
Hayden, just for you, you haven't played since last October. What was it like getting back on the field under the lights at Carter Finley?
Yeah, first I just want to say thank you to God, you know, for giving me the opportunity to be back out here and healing me. But it's awesome, you know, anytime you can get back to the sport you love so much and be able to play in any situation, it's such a blessing. So it was so much fun going out there with my brothers and fighting tonight and getting a win.
Rob, go ahead.
Yeah, Caden, this was your first game wearing the number one jersey. Obviously, as the game kicks off, you're probably not thinking about that as much. But do you feel like that's made you kind of, it's lifted you to another level, maybe made you a better leader, a better player, or even a better person?
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, it is just a number, but here at NC State, you know, it's a number that comes with a lot of respect and responsibility. So, yeah, I mean, having Coach Doeren give me the opportunity to wear that number, you know, I don't take it lightly at all. So, I do think it pushes me every day, just knowing that every day I come in this building, you know, I got to be on my P's and Q's, giving it my all for my teammates. So, yeah.
Noah, go ahead.
Yeah, this was the first game you had with Coach Elliott, game prep and in-game stuff. And what was it like kind of working with him? Did you wear the headphone and the helmet tonight?
No, I did not. Sean Brown actually wore it. But the preparation and all, it was amazing. Just kind of learning new things. Y'all know he's been in the NFL before, so he kind of has a different knowledge of the defensive scenarios and situations and play calls. So it's so cool kind of learning and seeing how an actual D coordinator thinks about things and goes about his practice and preparation. So it's so cool to continue to learn from him, and he does a great job.
Anything else for Caden? All right, it looks like we're good. Thanks for joining.
Thank y'all.
And that's going to be the end of our press conference tonight. Thanks, everybody.